beautiful gems, thank you for joining me for another meal prep video. If you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I am 46 years old. I've been doing WW for a couple of years now. I love to do these big meal preps each week just to set myself and my husband up for success for the week. He doesn't do WW, but he definitely eats the meals because it's not diet food. It's just kind of pre-portioned food cooked in healthier ways. So you can definitely make these meals for your entire family and everyone should love them. And if you haven't already yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. I usually upload 3 times per week, sometimes a little bit more if I have other videos to put up, but my main videos are always going to be my grocery haul video that I put up on Saturdays. Well, it comes out on Thursday. On Thursday my grocery haul video comes out, and then on Sundays I have a meal prep video where I use the groceries that I bought in the grocery haul, and then I do a weekly vlog, and I will vlog all week on how I use and incorporate those meals into my lifestyle. So anywho, if that's something that you like, go ahead and subscribe, and also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle here on the screen for you as well. And then I have a really great Facebook group. It is called Finding Our Way, WEIGH. This is the icon to that Facebook group, and there is a direct link down in the description box to that Facebook group. Also, speaking of the description box, all of the recipes that I do today will either be typed out in the description box or links to the recipes for you to access. So what we have on the menu today is the turkey sausage that I love, which is just the Butterball Turkey Sausage. Slice it up, put it on a sheet pan. It's going to bake in the oven. We're going to make Brussels sprouts. I know a lot of people don't like Brussels sprouts, but I promise you, if you made the Brussels sprouts like I make them, you would love them. If you like a good garlicky season, I mean, you really have to season them up and cook them until they're almost charred, little black on the edges and stuff. So good. Chef's kiss on those for sure. And then some Cajun seasoned potatoes. So that's going to be one of my meals. And that's probably going to be about a 10-point meal, I think. I can't remember exactly. I know the sausage is 6 points per serving, and then whatever the potatoes come out to, and then the Brussels sprouts will be 0. And then a new recipe that I'm going to try, which I have 2 new ones, one dessert. It's a Creamy Tuscan Chicken bake, the lighter Creamy Tuscan Chicken bake. This is from the Pounddropper, and I will have the link to this recipe down below. I'm really not going to change very much on it, I don't think. Let's see here. This will bake in the oven. Her recipe is actually for 4 servings, so I'm making 6 servings. So for everything that's listed, because whenever I went to print it, some recipes you can change the servings and it will adjust the ingredients, but I'm just going to do like 1.5 times what it calls for. So it calls for, like, I don't know, 4 thinly sliced boneless chicken breasts. Well, we're obviously going to do 6. So anywho, things like that, I will just adjust as I need to increase. So I will have to like recalculate the points just to make sure that it all works out correctly. I got the sun-dried tomatoes that's not in oil. Those are 0 points. I'll just use that whole package of those. This requires spinach, some Parmesan cheese, things like that. It's actually a little similar, in my opinion, to the Marry Me chicken, but a little different. And I will use some fat-free half and half in this. So anyway, this is what it looks like, or what hopefully it will look like whenever I do it, and that will bake in the oven. I'm just going to do some of my seasoned rice along with that, and I don't know if I'm going to do half a cup or a cup. I need to plug that in and see what the points are on it and see how much it's going to be. And then for the side or vegetable side with that, I'm just going to do some broccoli. And then for the dessert today, I really hadn't decided what I wanted to do, but I'm going to use one of Planning Us Healthy, Christie over at Planning Us Healthy, one of her recipes. It is Peanut Butter Fudge Cookies. They look delicious. It is made with a Pillsbury sugar-free chocolate brownie mix, some Fiber One cereal, some mini sweet chocolate chips, which I will use my Lily's unsweetened chocolate chips with that, PB2. And yeah, it says it makes 42 cookies. We will see if we get 42 cookies out of that, which that would be really good for Charlie and I. And her recipe, the way it is, comes out to 1 point for 1 cookie. This is on blue. 2 points for 2 cookies. 4 points for 3. So I would probably want to stick to just having 2 cookies instead of jumping up to the 3. But anywho, these look good. You know, it reminds me of those no-bake oatmeal chocolate cookies like my mom used to make. I've never really made those, so when I saw this, it immediately reminded me of it. These you do bake in the oven. for about 10 to 12 minutes. But that is the plan, and so let's just get right into it, guys. Alrighty, we are getting ready to start our meal prep for the day. This is everything that Charlie has to prep today. He actually has quite a bit of prep to do. So he will slice up the turkey sausage just into the thin little slices. We will bake those in the oven. Y'all, this is so good. I cannot recommend this enough. This is the chicken for the Tuscan chicken bake that we are going to do. I think he's going to do 4 chicken breasts and slice them in half long ways to make to where we'll basically get 1 1/3 pieces. So it'll be like, 3/4 of a chicken breast per serving. Of course, chicken is 0 on the blue plan and purple. And then here are the peppers to dice for the week. Here is my tomato for my sandwiches, which I was happy with the tomato this week. It actually looks good. I've got a cantaloupe. I'm hoping that it's good. Nico, get off the chicken. Of course, Nico, the grocery inspector, is up here. I have the 2 pineapples for the week, and then we are doing Brussels sprouts along with the turkey sausage and the potatoes. So we will season these up really well. We will season these up really well with the Cajun seasoning. I know this is one of my favorite combinations. I highly recommend that meal. It is a higher point meal because the turkey sausage is 6 points, and then I can't remember what this comes out to. So it ends up to be like a 10 or 11 point meal depending on how many potatoes I end up using, which these are 1.5 pounds per bag. So I will plug in 3 pounds of potatoes and basically just divide it into 6 to see what it is per serving. And then I'll probably just weigh it after it's cooked and divide it out that way. But I will calculate it based on the pre-cooked weight, which is 1 pound 8 ounces. So yeah, that's 1.5 pounds, right? I think. Okay. I'm going to go get in the shower now, and we will roll into Charlie's prep.
I cannot beat you. No, I won't have it, babe. Not playing this game. I do not feel you. I'm not crossing that tape. It would be a shame. So listen, baby, listen carefully, 'cause I got something to say. I feel us fading. Listen carefully. Let's stop this charade. Stop this
We have our pineapple, our cantaloupe, and our blueberries. We're going to throw them in here and get them in the fridge out of the way real quick so that we can get started on our turkey sausage, Brussels sprouts, all that stuff, and get to getting these meals together. We're starting late today. It is almost 2 o'clock, just so you know.
Spark turns into fire, and we're not sorry. disasters is also troubling.
Alrighty, I have completed my fruit bowls, my yogurt, and got my diced peppers in the bowl here. And then, of course, Charlie sliced up my tomato and had already put it in that container earlier. So let's throw this in the fridge, and then we are going to do the turkey sausage, the potatoes, and the Brussels sprouts. Those are all going to bake together in the oven. Super easy and super delicious. Okay, everyone, this is everything that I'm going to need for my 3 sheet pans, which I have them all here lined with foil. And I have the Brussels sprouts chopped, which y'all just saw Charlie dice those up, along with the potatoes, and the sausage is ready to go. And I kind of have all of my seasonings and everything out here too. I'll use avocado oil spray in the Brussels sprouts and all of these seasonings except for the Cajun seasoning. That is for the potatoes. The potatoes will use all of these as well, which I have garlic powder, garlic salt, ground cumin, chili powder, Cajun seasoning, salt, and pepper. And then I'll use the extra virgin olive oil on the potatoes. So what we're going to do is season up really good, stir really good, season really good, stir really good again, pour on the sheet pans, basically super simple, and spray a little bit on top, probably pop them in the oven. They're probably going to have to cook for like 45 minutes to an hour. The turkey sausage will not have to cook as long. I think that it only cooks for about a total of 30 minutes. I'm going to put it on the bottom rack, and then like I'll have one of these on the middle and one on the top, and then I will probably put the Brussels sprouts on the top or something. Once I get the sausage done, then I will take it out and move the Brussels sprouts down to the bottom, because these pans will not all fit on one rack, or 2 of them won't fit on a rack together, just because my oven's not that deep, so this pan is too long to fit with this pan. If I had 2 smaller ones, then they would both, but anywho, it doesn't matter. So with the sausage, you don't have to season it or anything. I'm just going to lightly spray this foil so that it doesn't stick, and we're going to lay it on here, and I'll just lightly spray each one of these as well, and then we will get everything mixed in the bowls, get them dumped on here, and get them going in the oven. So this is, to me, a super simple way to get a full meal done, because you just get it all together, put it all in the oven, it all cooks at the same time. So easy peasy. Okay, so first of all, we will do the turkey sausage. Like I said, I'm just going to lightly spray this so that it doesn't stick to the aluminum foil. And I'm going to go ahead and just spray my other 2 pans as well. Get that out of the way. And then we are literally just going to place these in a row on here. We want to cook them flat. I'm going to cook them for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to flip them and cook them for another 10 minutes. I want them nice and crispy and kind of almost caramelized on the outside edges. So let's do a little speed through of this real quick.
You know that I can't seem to focus when you're getting close to me. We're like a broken record spinning round and round all year. I know that I can't do more. I know that you...
Okay, that gets all the sausage on here. I'm just going to set it to the side for the moment while we do the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. And my memory card got full in the middle of it, so I don't really know how much footage I got, but I did see it and swapped it out, so we'll see. But anywho, you get the idea if I didn't get it all. You lay them all flat on a sheet pan. Now, for the potatoes, I'm just going to move the sheet pan out of the way. We are going to go in with the extra virgin olive oil spray first, because these are pretty dry. And then I'm just going to do my salt and pepper first, and of course, just season to your taste. You know, we like a lot of seasoning. And I am going to season everything twice. So there's the salt and pepper. And then I'm going to go in with the Cajun seasoning. It doesn't really matter which brand you use. And we're going to do a little bit of chili powder. And a little bit of the ground cumin. And these are totally optional. If you don't like these, you can leave them out. If you don't like it spicy, then you can season it with salt and pepper and do some rosemary seasoning on there. This is garlic salt, a little bit of that, and a little bit of garlic powder. I've done these before with just like some rosemary seasoning on it. That gives it a nice flavor as well. So we're going to stir, and then we're going to kind of go through all that again real quick. Olive oil spray, salt, pepper, Cajun seasoning, chili powder, ground cumin, garlic powder, and garlic salt. We'll give it a good stir, and then we're ready to put these on the sheet pan. And then I'm just going to spread them out in a thin layer. And then I am just going to do one more little spritz of olive oil spray just right on top before they go in the oven. And then we're going to set these to the side and do the Brussels sprouts. Okay, so here are the Brussels sprouts, kind of the same thing. The only thing I'm not going to use on this is the Cajun seasoning. We'll use all of the same others. And then I do like avocado oil spray for the Brussels sprouts. The last time I used the olive oil spray because I was out of this, and it really doesn't make that much of a difference, just a slight difference. But I do prefer the avocado oil spray with the flavor of the Brussels sprouts. So we're going to do a good spray on there. And then this is where you really want to season them well, because people don't like Brussels sprouts. This will cover the taste. Okay, so we've got them sprayed really well. We're going to go in with some salt. And you do not want to be too shy with your seasonings on this, or else they'll have that Brussels sprout taste that you don't like. And then we're going to go in with some pepper. And then we're going to do a good dose of garlic salt, garlic powder, chili powder, and ground cumin. Same thing, we're going to give these a really good stir. And as you can see, like the ones on the bottom don't have anything on them, so that's why I like to go through it 2 times, just to make sure that everything gets coated nicely. Okay, and same thing all over again. Avocado oil spray, salt, pepper, chili powder, cumin, garlic powder, and garlic salt. Give it a good stir, and then it'll be ready to put on the sheet pan. And of course I've already sprayed this. We're just going to dump it on there, and then we will do the same thing as the potatoes. We'll just kind of spread it out. Now what I'm going to do is set 2 timers. I'm going to set one for 45 minutes, which is probably the amount of time, 45 minutes to an hour for the potatoes and the Brussels sprouts to cook. And then I'm going to set one for 20 minutes so that I can flip the turkey sausage. And then after that I'll set another one for 10 to get it out. And then at that point, at the 30-minute mark, I will probably stir the Brussels sprouts and the potatoes really well. And check them, and that kind of tells me how much longer they need to go. Give those another good spray, and everything's ready to go in the oven, 400 degrees. Alrighty, I have gotten the Brussels sprouts, the turkey sausage, and the diced potatoes out of the oven. They are cooling here for a minute. I'm going to get my containers out, and we're probably going to start with the sausage. I'm going to weigh that and see how much I have and how much will go into each container. And then there's a fly in here. And then we need to do the same thing for the Cajun potatoes as well. So let me see if I can get this fly and get my containers, and then we will get this plated up. Okay, so I'm going to take the turkey, and I'm actually going to weigh it out in grams, I guess, and see how much I have here. And then we will just divide it by 6. Now in my tracker, I'm putting this in as 26 ounces because each packet is 13 ounces, and I use 2 of them to get my points per serving, which that comes out to 6 points per serving. We'll see how many ounces in grams we have here. It really doesn't matter which method you weigh it. And then I'm just basically going to weigh it and divide it by 6. Sometimes if the ounces come up like exact, it's easy to do it in ounces, but usually it's like a weird number, and so sometimes you can get it a little more precise with grams. Okay, so we have 495 grams, 17.45 ounces. So we're just going to take the grams, 495 divided by 6. It's going to be about 82, so that turned 82 grams is what I'll kind of shoot for into each one of our containers.
You got that something, baby, that I can go without, just like a poison in me. You're all that I'm about, loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control. I want that something, baby, 'cause I can go without. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't.
Okay, there we got that. I'm I'm just gonna rinse this out and wipe it, and then we will weigh the potatoes in the same bowl. Be right back. Okay, so we've got about 40 ounces of potatoes here, which is quite a bit. I'm gonna put, I think, 5 ounces in mine, and then I'm just gonna leave the rest for Charlie. So I don't wanna have more than that would make it like an 11-point dinner. So 5 ounces of potatoes, and then that would be about 5 points, and then the sausage is 6 points, and then the Brussels sprouts are gonna be 0. So I'm gonna do 5 ounces in mine, and then Charlie's just gonna get all the rest. And what I do is just tear it out, and then I take it out until it is negative 5 ounces. Okay, so there we go. I think that's the perfect portion. And I'm gonna get this in the rest of these real quick.
Lately, when you're not in my blood, loving the highs, don't mind the lows. It's getting out of my control. I need your loving, baby. It's all I'm thinking of. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you.
Okay, now I don't need the scale, because I'm not going to weigh Charlie's. I'm just going to eyeball it.
But I lose my mind if you don't get it soon. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. I'm a sucker for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get.
Perfect. And then on the Brussels sprouts, I'm just going to eyeball it. These are 0 points. And we're just going to fill up this little end container and all of them. Okay, here are my completed meals with the turkey kielbasa, Brussels sprouts, and Cajun seasoned yellow gold potatoes. Super yummy, super filling, super delicious. This is a little bit of a higher point meal because the sausage is 6 points, and then I have 5 points worth of potatoes in there as well. So nice hearty dinner, but it will be so delicious, y'all. I love this sausage. I mean, I love it. This is the way I love it cooked, to where it's nice and crispy, kind of caramelized. So good. All right, let's move on to the Tuscan chicken bake. Okay, I am ready to start on the lighter creamy Tuscan chicken bake from WW Pounddropper. I think this recipe on blue is going to come out to 2 to 3 points. I'm going to have to plug it in to see, because she has like a couple of options on there. 2 smart points if you use unsweetened almond milk with sun-dried tomatoes with or without oil. 3 smart points if you use fat-free half and half or skim milk with sun-dried tomatoes in oil. So I have sun-dried tomatoes without oil, which is going to be 0 points, but I am going to use the fat-free half and half because I got some for this recipe specifically. So I will have to plug this in and see what my points come up to. But anywho, these are all of the ingredients you need. You're going to need chicken breast. We have sliced up 4 chicken breasts into halves, thinly sliced, and I've just put salt and pepper on them just to go ahead and get that part done. Now, what we do here, we are going to sprinkle this seasoning on top, and her recipe is just for 4 thinly sliced ones, and so I have 8. So I'm kind of doubling everything that she has on there. So I have the salt, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I did 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning and half a teaspoon of paprika. And this we are just going to sprinkle on the chicken breast. And then for the sauce, we're going to use, her recipe calls for 1 1/4 cups, but we're going to use 2 1/2 cups of the half and half. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, which I did not get that out. I need to even see if I have that. I'm not sure. So we'll probably use 4 teaspoons since I'm kind of doubling everything. 4 teaspoons of minced garlic we will use. It calls for 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, so we'll do 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. It says 1/3 of a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. I'm just going to use this whole pack because they are 0 points. And then 1/4 of a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. So I just have this Kroger Parmesan cheese, and I will just do 1/2 cup total. And then it calls for a cup of fresh spinach leaves. I will just use 2 cups or however many handfuls I want to put in there. You kind of put that in at the end and just let it wilt while it sets covered. So, anywho, let's get this going. I'm going to get started, I guess, getting the seasoning on the chicken so that can kind of sit, and then we will mix together the cream sauce to put on there. My oven is preheating to 425, I believe. Yeah, preheat oven to 425. So, let's get started. Okay, so we have our chicken breast here, and then again I've got the paprika, the garlic, a little bit of salt, and some Italian seasoning mixed up here, and we are just gonna kind of lightly sprinkle it on the tops of each one. Okay, so we've got that on, so now we are going to switch over and do the cream sauce, and I'm gonna get out this nice Pampered Chef mixing bowl. I love this because it's nice and big. I actually just ordered some new stuff from Pampered Chef too. One of my friends was doing a Pampered Chef party, so I got a few little things. And it was actually delivered today. I will probably show that. I don't know if I'll show it in today's meal prep video, but probably in the weekly vlog or something. But, so in here we are going to go in with 2.5 cups of fat-free half and half. So there's 1 cup. Oh, well, it looks like we're only going to have 2 cups. Ha! There's only 2 cups in that container, which is perfectly fine. So, used all that because I wouldn't have used it for anything else, and Charlie would not use that in his coffee. Let me see if I have the cornstarch. Okay, so I don't have any cornstarch. I'm just going to leave it out. I asked Alexa, she said I could substitute flour, but I'm just going to leave it out and not fool with it because I don't really think it's going to make a difference. So now we're going to go in with our 3 teaspoons of minced garlic. 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. We're just going to do like a little pinch here. A 1/2 of a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to go in with a full pack of sun-dried tomatoes. And y'all, sun-dried tomatoes are so good if you've never tried them. So good. And then we're going to do a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. So this is everything for the cream sauce. We are not going to add the spinach until a little bit later. I'm going to get this mixed up, and then we're just going to pour it over both of these, and they're going to go in the oven. She says for 18 to 22 minutes or until thoroughly cooked. Now y'all know that I don't like no undercooked chicken, so I'm probably going to leave it in for at least a 1/2 hour. Then we remove it, and then you stir in the spinach and basically cover it with foil, and we're going to let it rest while the spinach wilts. While that's going on, then we will get the rice in the rice cooker, and we're going to have the steamed broccoli with it, which I'm going to do in the microwave and then just season up. Okay, so we have our mixture ready. We are going to just kind of pour it over. I'm going to kind of go slowly. I feel like the sun-dried tomatoes are going to stay in the bottom until I kind of pull them out with a spoon. We'll see here. Yeah, they're like clumped up in the bottom. Okay, well that's good. I was afraid it wouldn't really cover the chicken, but it really kind of does. We'll see how it is stirring the spinach in there afterwards, because it says to stir it into the cream sauce and tin it and it'll wilt, so we'll see. But so far so good, so we're going to go in the oven. I'm just going to do 30 minutes because 18 to 22 just doesn't cut it for me. Okay, so I'm getting ready to make my seasoned rice. I like to use this recipe from Recipe Zaz that I found. I do change it up a little bit, of course, but basically I just add the poultry seasoning in there. I'm going to use some of the I Can't Believe It's Not Butter spray, and then some black pepper and some, I've got this chicken seasoning instead of just regular poultry seasoning. But it's super simple, and it does give the pepper in there is really what makes it kind of like spicy, I guess. So I'm going to just spray this. I have about 1 3/4 cups of rice here. I was going to do 1 1/2, but that cleaned out my container, so now I can open my next bag of rice and put in there. So we're just going to go ahead and use her up. So we have 1 3/4 cups of rice. So that means we're going to need what? 2 3.5 cups of liquid to go in there, I think is correct. And I'm going to use 1 can of chicken broth. That's also a little trick to give quinoa or rice a nice little flavor, is to use some chicken broth, not just water in there. So that gives me close to 2 cups. Whoops. So that gives me close to 2 cups of chicken broth. I'm just going to top the rest of it with water. And then put this in, so that's 2 cups of liquid. And then we need another 1.5 cups. Okay, it calls for about 1/2 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. I'm just going to put just like a little less than a teaspoon. Yeah, that'll be good. And then it calls for 1/2 teaspoon of ground black pepper. So same thing. So I'm just going to put about a teaspoon or so of black pepper in there. And then for a little flavor, we're going to put in a few little pumps of the, I can't believe it's not butter, instead of the 1.5 teaspoons that it calls for. That is it. I'm going to give it a little stir, and then all I have to do is turn this on, and we will have perfectly cooked rice in about 20 minutes or so. And this will just keep it warm until I get ready to plate it up until the chicken is done. There we go. It's cooking. And I do like to turn it, like I always say, to where the steam doesn't come up under my cabinets. So we will be back. I'm going to steam the broccoli in the microwave, and then once the chicken's ready, we will be ready to plate this up. Okay, everyone, I'm getting ready to make Planning Us Healthy Christie's Peanut Butter Fudge Cookies. I've never made these before, but these sounded really good. They kind of remind me of like the chocolate oatmeal cookies. But these are the ingredients that you need. You need a box of the sugar-free brownie mix. We're going to need 2 cups of Fiber One cereal. A tablespoon of unsweetened applesauce, which that will kind of waste that, but these are probably getting old. This is probably like out of date, to be honest. Oh no, it didn't go out of date until 2023. Who knew those lasted that long? Anyway, that's interesting. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I haven't got my vanilla out yet, but I will. 1 egg, and then 1/8 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. It calls for 2 tablespoons of PB2, but I'm just going to use 1 scoop of this peanut butter cookie. The only PB2 that I have is the chocolate, and I thought adding a little bit of protein, you know, might make them a little bit more filling. And then it calls for 3 tablespoons of mini semi-sweet chocolate chips, and so I'm just going to use these Lily's dark chocolate baking chips that I always use, and I just counted out 60 of them. So I have those ready to go, and then I have 1/3 cup of water. I don't know if I already said that. So yeah, that's it, other than the vanilla I need to get out. So we're going to just basically mix it all together. Oven's preheating to 350. I'm hoping this is to make 42 cookies. If I make 42 cookies, I plug my ingredients in, and it is a true 1-point cookie. So if I toggle up to 2, it's 2 points. If I toggle up to 3, it's 3 points, so on and so forth. 4 cookies would be 4 points. So I'm really going to try my best to get 42 cookies out of that. That will be quite a bit. Hopefully they will all fit on this sheet. We shall see. Wish me luck. I'm excited. I'm sure it'll be good, because anything I made with like the sugar-free Pillsbury mixes are really good. And then the Fiber One cereal, it's going to give it that nice crunch. So super excited to try this week. And yeah, let's get her done. Okay, so I always like to start with my egg first. So we're going to get that put in. Okay, so we have our egg in there, and now we're going to go in with our brownie mix. And we're going to do 1 scoop of the protein powder. Again, her recipe calls for PB2. I use this all the time, so I love it. It's sweet. Calls for 1/3 cup of water. We'll go ahead and put that in. 1 tablespoon of applesauce. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. So there's 1, 2. So 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon, which seems like very little. So that's 1/4. So we just put like a little less than that in there. Hey, that's cool. So I never buy like regular cereal anymore, hardly. I mean, unless it's something for Athena, I don't know why I'm not focusing. But look, it comes in like 2 little individual bags. So you can keep it fresher longer. I like that. So I need 2 cups of this. There we go. 2 cups. But isn't that neat? I like the little bag. Okay, so we're going to give this a good stir. If we need more water, then we'll add a little bit more water, but I don't want it too runny because I want them to kind of stay together. it's gonna be okay, actually. This smells nice and chocolatey, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and dump our chocolate chips in before I forget. Okay, actually I think that's a great consistency. I'm gonna clean up, grab my baking sheet, and get my Baker's Joy out. Okay, so we're gonna see if we can get 42 cookies. Yeah, I've used all that up.
I'm buzzing, let's drink up. Your death look like big fun. Come on, let's get it on. Like that Marvin Gaye song. I'm stunning, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it. Come on, give me something. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me. The night is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now.
So that's only 20. So I'm not sure I'm gonna get 42. We'll see. So I feel like I've used over half the mixture. I'm gonna get another baking.
Of our lives, the summer of our lives. The sun sets on fire. Tell me your desires. We're not getting tired. Baby, take me higher. I'm Sunday, you love it. Come on, give me something. I know that you want it, boy. The night is young and so are we.
Okay, so I only got 32 cookies. That's probably going to make them 2 points each, but that will be fine. I'm just going to toggle it back down to 32 cookies instead of 42. So anyway, I really don't want them to be tiny. So I want them to be like a normal cookie. So we're just going to go with what I got. So these are going in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. All right, we are ready to go ahead and plate up the chicken. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It looks like it's, I don't know what the word is. She said something about it in the recipe, almost like it curdled a little bit. But she says that's really only if you use like the almond milk, which I didn't. So I'm not sure how this is going to taste or be, but we are just going to go with it because, you know, that's what we got. So we are going to put 1 and, is it 1 1/2 or 1 1/3 pieces, I guess, in each one. I did let this cook for 30 minutes and then it's been kind of sitting over there for quite a while with the spinach wilting in it. So we'll see if this will fit a whole piece.
I'm thinking you were made for me. Isn't it my birthday yet? Cause I gotta say, you're looking like a gift for me. Wrapped up nice and neat, baby. Get in my way now, don't be shy. We'll be here dancing day and night. Get in my groove now, don't be shy. Cause I got this list of my favorite things. You could be the part where it all begins. You could be.
Okay guys, here is the creamy Tuscan chicken over 1 cup of rice. The chicken recipe I think comes out to 2 to 3 points. I can't remember exactly. And then the rice is going to be 6 points for a cup. And then of course the broccoli will be 0. I am going to season that broccoli up with some garlic salt, salt and pepper, and probably I might put some of that ranch seasoning on there because I still have that. I used that in my turkey burger yesterday. And I have some left, so let me get that seasoned up and then we will pretty much be done. We just pulled the cookies out of the oven. Here are the cookies fresh out of the oven. This last one, he's a little bit smushed out, but he didn't have as much of the Fiber One cereal in him. It was kind of like the last of the chocolate, so I'm not surprised by that. So they definitely need to sit and cool for a little bit, and yeah, we are just about done. Alrighty, we have finally finished up another meal prep today. So over here, of course, I have my 7 containers of fruit and yogurt. With this, I will have sandwiches Monday through Thursday for the week to go along with it. And then on Friday, I always make one of my 4-point pizzas to take. Here we have our Cajun Seasoning potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and the yummy Butterball Turkey Sausage. And the pink ones are mine. I have less potatoes than Charlie. Charlie actually got all of the excess potatoes in his, so his are the blue containers. And then over here we have the WW Pounddroppers lightened up Creamy Tuscan Chicken. And I'm hoping that it tastes good. I'm hoping that it ends up tasting better than it looks. So we will see. I'm feeling a little iffy on that one. But we seasoned up the broccoli with some salt and pepper and garlic salt, and then some of that Hidden Valley Ranch Fiesta seasoning that Rhett sent to me. So hopefully that gives our garlic a nice little kick this week. And then we have the chocolate cookies back here, which I only ended up with 32 instead of 42, and I changed it in the recipe builder, and it's still 1 point for one cookie, but whenever you eat 2 cookies it rose up to 3, but then when you have 3 it's only 4. So it does kind of mess up the math. I love it whenever it's like a true 1 for 1. So again, 1 is 1 cookie, 2 is going to be, 1 is 1 point, 2 is going to be 3 points. But then you can have 3 for 4 points. So you know what I'm saying? You might as well go for 3 if you're going to go for 2, right? And then I have my bacon and eggs for breakfast. I always get asked when I eat these during the week. I usually eat them once I get to work at my desk. So overall, I would say I have completed another successful meal prep. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me for another meal prep video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you try some of these recipes. Y'all know one of my favorite things is the turkey's kielbasa and the Cajun potatoes and the Brussels sprouts. I love that meal. Highly recommend. I've never tried this version of the Creamy Tuscan Chicken, so we shall see how I like it. I'm a little iffy on whether or not it's going to be good. We shall see. But I know I love the sun-dried tomatoes and stuff like that and those flavors together. I'm just unsure how this one comes together, but we'll see whenever we try it. And then of course I have my breakfast ready for the week and everything, so I'm feeling prepared. That's the only way that I can kind of stay on track and stay successful, is to do all this work in one day. And today it took me right at 4 hours. It is about 6 o'clock, so that's about how long it takes me to get all of this done. So anywho, if you haven't yet already subscribed, you know what to do. Click that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And by the way, I love my Jennifer's Gems that make it all the way to the end. Mwah.